Topic one, something we missed right after the show ended or the following morning. Giants. They were the front runners. They landed the man they wanted. Kenny Golladay, 4 years, $72 million. Joe, hot take. What are you feeling?
I think we all expected this, right? And judging off of the available places that he was rumored to go, which was pretty much, I think, down to Cincinnati and the Giants. I like it. I mean, I wanted him to go back to Detroit for fantasy purposes, but I understand them moving on. And if they're going to move on somewhere, why not Detroit, why not New York? So, they have some weapons. They have Saquon, they have Golladay, they have Evan Ingram, they have Kyle Rudolph, they have Sterling Shepard, they have, what's the other guy's name? I can never remember. Who's the third wide receiver over there?
Darius Slayton.
There you go.
And it's going to be interesting, man. I don't know how this impacts Daniel Jones. I was watching our guy Barry the other day. He was like, I was so high on Daniel Jones last year, and he let me down. And I told myself I'm never getting back on the bus. And he's like, but then I looked at these weapons. I'm back on the bus.
And yeah.
I'm not in on the top 10 bus, but I'm in on let's wait and see what happens. He may not be the worst thing to stash on the end of your bench. So if you don't end up with one of these top 7-8 quarterbacks. So I like it, man. I like it. I think it was a good move for fantasy, a good move for football.
You know what? I agree with you wholeheartedly there, Joe. I would have liked to see him go to a place like Cincinnati where you have more of a promising young talent in Joe Burrow. They didn't work it out. He finds himself in New York. All of the weapons. Guys, are you even considering drafting Daniel Jones now at this point with the possibility? Just look at what they've given him. Can he be fantasy relevant? We talking top 10, top 12. Is he going to be that type of guy with Kenny Golladay, all those other options that Joe just mentioned? What do you think, Jacob?
Look, every year, and some of these guys fall in and out of this, but every year there's these guys around the 10 to 12 range that kind of get picked up and dropped all season long, and people are streaming them, maybe even 10 to 15 range. And I think he's going to be in there, and he's going to be one of these guys that somebody rosters and possibly starts on their bye weeks when Aaron Rodgers is on a bye or whatever. But I can't help but be optimistic about this offense. There's not a lot of teams that you can name the starting running back, starting tight end, the starting receivers that the whole offense has better weapons. It's like the Bucs have pretty good weapons, but they don't have a Saquon Barkley. And so it's going to be interesting. And as far as Golladay goes, I'm not extremely, excited about this, but I do like it. I think it's going to be pretty similar to what he was, to be honest. And he never was an elite top 8 wide receiver. I think he finished number 7 one year, depending on your scoring, but he was never in that top 5. And I don't think he will be. I still think he'll be somewhere between 8 and 12, which is pretty solid to me. And I'm looking forward to watching them play. I just pray that they stay healthy, all of them.
Big concern for Kenny Golladay is health. Yeah. And we have talked about it before on the podcast, specifically pertaining to Kenny Golladay, about how he's not really a volume-based guy. He's not going to hit you with the 10 targets, the 11 catches, whatever it may be. He's going to hit you for the 4 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. He's always been that big play guy. So you hope he gets it with Daniel Jones.
What bothers me? I was talking to somebody about that the other day, guys. Why isn't he that target hog? He's 6'4", he's giant. Throw him the ball and let him get it. Was that a product of a Stafford offense, or was that just Golladay not being able to separate? Because I was reading some takes on that. People were saying he's just not the best at separating. Well, that's fine. I get it. You know what? Larry Fitzgerald is fantastic, and he separates very well, but he's also a big dude, and in his prime, you throw him the ball, and he goes up and gets it, right? Same with Anquan Bolden, same with guys like Mike Evans. They don't need to be wide open to get them the ball. So why haven't we seen that out of Golladay, and is that maybe something that we'll see in New York now that he has a Saquon Barkley, like Jacob said, to take the pressure off the run game? The Lions have never been good in the run. So if the Giants can be good there, that may help Golladay.
Agreed, man. And when during our time as fantasy football players, other than Calvin Johnson was there, when were we ever like the Lions are an elite offense, explosive offense? We never really talked about them like that.
No.
And I think this can be that. So he could look, it's in the realm of possibilities that Golladay does get into that top 5. And maybe Daniel Jones is more YOLO than Matt Stafford, and he just throws it to him, like, even if he doesn't get separation. Because I have heard that now that this is official, all everybody's talking about is how Golladay can't get separation, and he's go up and get it against the defender. So that could be the reason why he never got targets.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be exciting, man. I just, like you guys said, and you can't hammer this point enough, it's health. Saquon, Ingram, Sterling
all
Shepard,
of them
Golladay,
are injury prone.
All of them. So listen, what's going to end up happening, guys, is we're going to be left with the same situation as probably we always are with the Giants, is some of these guys are probably going to get hurt. Some of them are probably going to stay healthy, and you just hope that you get the one that stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. I don't think I'd spend the draft capital on Kenny Golladay with the question mark of Daniel Jones. I'd love to see him be fantasy relevant this year, and he has been. There have been instances where he's been very good for fantasy, but just overall, he's not somebody you really keep on your team throughout the entirety of the season. So I want to see the consistency there first, maybe sort of that Josh Allen level improvement. I hope he can get there.
I'm not banking on that.
Well, I'm not saying the entire jump to Josh Allen from year 2 to year 3, but I'm just saying if he can improve. But I'm not going to go out and really get any of these guys unless the value just becomes way too easy.
I'm hoping for like a peak Jared Goff. Like that's my ceiling for Daniel Jones.
Dude, peak Jared Goff was top 3.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is because Goff is not the most talented quarterback, but you put him in the right situation, give him the right pieces, he can exceed. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think Daniel Jones ever going to be Mahomes level, but I think peak Jared Goff is his ceiling, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. If we got peak Jared Goff, that's a top 10 quarterback. So I hope so. I think we're looking more at like, I don't want to say Derek Carr because he's not there, but maybe peak Wentz. Peak Wentz, right? Where Wentz was top 8, 9, 10, 11 in that range. I think maybe that's where I have him. But he has way better weapons than Wentz ever had. So
agreed.
Very true.